Dumelang family, your boy P was specific, aka the same old school. Some kind of floor, but so look, today we're gonna be breaking down HAWA SPANA SHARP by ECXTACY and OT FINESSE. I think we're gonna be breaking down the remix. But a little story time, because I wanna literally give you guys a little story time. Once upon a time. But yeah, man. So how the song came about. Obviously, Tay came up with the whole thingies, the catchy hooks and all of that. But how it came to me, I'm going to literally give you guys a story time of how I kind of influenced and how I got to be part of the story, right? So Tay came through like any other day. Do I have the song I want to record? Pulls through. Records the hook. And I'm like, this is a very catchy hook, we record the hook. He didn't tell me who he wanted on the song until I got to know Rohad's on the song. And to me, I was like, hey, dog, it's a mismatch, man, because this is not Rohad's style. That's still style, you understand? It's completely off, to what Rohad does, but I didn't realize I was boxing the homie in. Now, and then he dropped his verse, came through, recorded his verse. I'm like, it's a solid verse. It's a solid verse. You understand? And if you ask me, I don't want to lie, Joe. As much as I'm leaning on the remix, I love the original song. I love the original, man. I don't know why. So yeah, that's what happened. And I feel like Rohad kind of literally pushed the song to where it is now. The remix did well. The remix did numbers. The remix kind of made something shake. But I feel like the original kind of pushed it to where it is now, or to where it got before the remix, So yeah, now coming to the remix, homie's like, yo, dog, man, there's so many options, and I want to cater for this remix in a proper way, He comes to me, he's like, boy, can you help me with like the direction of the remix? Where can I take the remix? I'm like, boys, go for these people. Initially, AV was already on the remix, and then we had a lot of options, too. I don't want to name certain options because niggas are gonna realize that we had to cut them off, But yeah, there were so many options, man. There were so many options. But then I told him, Joe, let's go for these people, I kind of gave him names, and then we literally managed to have the remix, So today we're going to be breaking down the remix. I don't think I'm going to be breaking down the vocal production because I only got to do Zico's vocal production. The rest were like they sent their own shandies, AV, Acid, and Kali, they sent their own things. But obviously I had to tweak certain things. And I literally did a whole lot of tweaking on Kali's verse because Kali's verse was a lot. So yeah, with AV and Acid, I don't really do much, man. I just had to tweak it just to make it sound proper. But yeah, the person that I had to tweak the most was definitely Kali. But anyway, without wasting any time, let's jump straight into it. Here we are.
HAWA SPANA SHARP.
So cool. The arrangement is simple with this one. Okay, it wasn't really simple because initially we wanted to literally start with the intro, the hook. But I was like, hey, boys and sis, let's consider we're living in a microwave era. People nowadays hate long songs, dog. Let's just try and keep it, short, simple, straight to the point, you understand? So we decided to start with AV's verse. We're like, happy nights and AV's verse, So that's what we went for, and then the hook, and then after that, Kali's verse, and then the hook, and then Zico's verse, the hook, Acid's verse, and then the closing hook. So yeah, that's basically the arrangement. Side-chained everything to one vocal bass. Mainly because of the control I wanted to have with everything. I don't want that verse to be louder than this one. No, I wanted everything to have control, too. I understand exactly. You and I, TY. You understand? So with AV's verse, like I said, man, I didn't do much to it. I just You know, added an EQ, saturation, vocal synth, and then soothe. You know, just to bring everything together. Guys, I'm not gonna go through everything. I'm just gonna rush through the song just to show you guys how the song came about and how I made it. I'm not gonna show you guys my secret sauces, no. But I think I might break down Zico's vocal preset. So yeah, this is without the effects. That's how it sounds.
HAWA SPANA SHARP, uberekile botlhaswa no. Sadibaka no, poison wailata no. Hey, mare sadibala jo, heads up kalichacha no. Hey, kadilata no, zaka kaibata no. HAWA SPANA SHARP, undira.
So basically, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's S's there, you know? There's S's, and this is how it sounds with the plugins enabled.
HAWA SPANA SHARP, uberekile botlhaswa no. Sadibaka no, poison wailata no. Hey, mare sadibala jo, heads up kalichacha no. Hey, kadilata no, zaka kaibata no. HAWA SPANA SHARP, undira dis.
So yeah, that's basically how it sounds. That's how you guys hear it on the song. Yeah, bro. And then obviously I added some reverb, you know, played reverb. Yeah, 2 played reverbs. Yeah, bro. Just to give it that zakamakwa, you know. So cool. That's basically Evie's verse, the hook, and then Kali's verse. Hold up, whoa, wait, oh, I wait, the music in it, oh, yo, Kali follow get and again, poisons. So yeah, let's jump into Kali's verse. Even with Kali's verse, like I said to you guys, Kali's verse was a lot. I had to tweak so many things, you know, because I was dealing with a lot. I made his bass. I made him a bass, a vocal bass for his vocals, and then took that bass, put it on the main vocal bass. Yeah, boy. So, yeah, let me enable Kali's bass and then start with the main. Wait, let me disable everything so that you guys can hear what it all sounds like, you know? So this is how Kali's verse sounds.
Hold up, ho, wait. Spanish ako manga mfana yana bo. Hey, that's why you trap on my fili ganda ho. Okay, tipa sabela mamela malo. Me, Messi number 10 hula pala fala 60K.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with the thingy, but obviously, producers will know when you're trying to literally mold a vocal. Every producer has his own way of mixing, right? And then we all have different ears. You understand? So with me, sonically, I felt like, yes, everything was perfect, but in terms of like the molding and where the verse should sit in the mix, for me, it was like, aish, the vocal is good. There's nothing wrong with the vocal. It's just that the molding and the positioning of the verse, I wanted it in a different place. So I decided to literally do a few tweaks here and there. Added an EQ and then a vocal mix rack. I did a lot on the vocal mix rack. Like I said, I'm not going to break down everything. And then obviously, I literally reverbed. You understand? Side chain the reverbs, 2 play reverbs, and then an image just to, widen the vocal. So yeah, this is how it sounds.
Ho, wait. Spanish ako manga mfana yana bo. Hey. That's why you trap on my fili ganda okay.
And also, when you're dealing with like stacked vocals, you have to also make space and make room for everything to sit properly. As much as the main vocal it's gonna take center stage, the other vocals also have to make sense in the mix. So even with the other ones, I had to make sure go to the space, you understand, the molding, and there's enough space for them to sit properly, not just to feel like the vocals they do for the sake of how they do. No, for them to sit properly in the mix. Yeah, well. Which one is this one? Yeah, let me just play everything, Joe. And obviously the backup as well. Added an EQ, an effect rack. Added an effect rack and an EQ. And then with the left and right, I just added some tuning and then some EQ. Because there wasn't any much what am I saying? There wasn't anything deeper, like, or I just wanted to tweak them, and I just wanted to mold them to make them sit properly in the mix. That's what I wanted, yeah. So that's what I got, and this is how it sounds. This is how they sound. The verse, the two left and right backings, and the ad libs.
Ho, wait, Spanish ako manga fana yana bo. Hey, that's why you trap on my feeling ganda ho. Okay, tipe sabela mamela malu. Hey, Messi number 10 hula pala fala. Titi catch, trena banaba. If you get, trena banaba. Bagman get like spota banaba. Shot on target, tipa banaba. A million and you better.
I'm going Kylie. So yeah, that's basically Kylie's verse. And then now we go into Zico's verse. Zico's Don Zico. Yeah, this is Don Zico's verse. With Don Zico's verse, it's a lot because I was the one handling the verse. Yeah, Don Zico's verse, and then the backings. You know, they didn't really do much backups. It was just those smaller yana things, you know. With Zico's verse, he recorded it here, yeah, bro. So I was in charge of making sure that it sits properly, and I'm glad that he came through and he recorded here, because I love mixing Zico's vocals, dog. Zico's vocals are you know, proper. So cool. With Zico's vocals, we started with the. Okay, let me not come here. Started with the EQ, simple, obviously. I know, cut a few lows and then cut. Here's the thing about Zico's vocals. Zico's vocals is Zico's voice is deep. Yeah, but also you're gonna have to know how to literally approach it, depending on the song. You understand? So the song should tell you, which this is how you should approach. Obviously, you should dictate how you want to approach the song or the vocal mixing, but don't fight against the song. Allow the song to tell you, yo, approach Zico's voice like this. This is what I do every single time I work on Zico's vocals. So yeah, EQ, compression, you know, and then vocal mix back. So I added some presence because Zico's vocals are, you know, are low. So I had to add some presence, and this is the shimmer. I added some shimmer, you know, and some thickness to it. Yeah, bro. So that's that, and then I added the fruity flangas. I'm not gonna show you the flangas because it's a secret. Yeah, well, so yeah, and then I added the soothe too, and I also added some saturation and then compression, and then the vocal synth. But I muted the vocal synth. As much as it was good, I just opted to keep it simple. Yeah, well, and then I added the final compression. You understand? This is how it sounds without anything. Let me just mute these guys. Well, yeah, let me just mute them. You know. Oh yeah, and also I merged the stereo separation. This is how it sounds without anything on.
HAWA SPANA SHARP. HAWA SPANA SHARP. HAWA SPANA SHARP. Yeah. Oberekile botlhaswa, oklile yang tadikata. Obile yang de magata, so se sipatela tulita plaka bon maroromel. Keep it steady, sunny to the back. Flowing free, gotta manifest, man. I'm up and ready, give me any test. Call me Dr. Sebi, man. I'm feeling blessed.
So yeah. With Zico's vocal, I had to literally put the image of the plate, the delay, another delay. You understand? Again, because we want the vocal to sit at a certain place in the mix, within the mix. Yeah, bro. We don't just mix because the ear must tell you, the song must tell you, Guti, lead like this, go like this. Yeah, bro. Because once you fight the song, once you fight the beat, yes, there's times where you have to also twitch the beat or do a few tweaks just to make sure that the vocal sits properly in the mix. And there's times where you can do that, but sometimes the beat doesn't need much for you to do. You just need to know how to properly place the vocals within the mix. So yeah, that's Zico's vocals. Here they sound with everything on yeah.
HAWA SPANA SHARP. HAWA SPANA SHARP. Yeah. Oberekile botlhaswa, oklile yang tadikata. Obile yang de magata, so se sipatela tulita plaka bon maroromel. Keep it steady, sunny to the back. Flowing free, gotta manifest, man. I'm up and ready.
So yeah, Zico's really not a fan of backings or backups. I love backups, Joe. You understand? I love backups. So there was this part here, right? Let me just do this.
Na sharp ish re go tsenya lat gag ish ena gona to saka ish e batla man krag ish.
So now I felt like, no, I think he's the one that did it. Yeah, I think he's the one that did it. And I was like, yo, dog, let's stack up those vocals. I think, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. So I literally told him, yo, dog, let's stack up those vocals because I feel like it's going to sound sick if we stack up those vocals. So we decided to stack the backings and then pen them left and right. Obviously, this is the reason why you have the backup vocals. I just added micro shift, which is like a chorus effect, and then Valhalla room, just to literally space out the backings, and this is how it sounds.
Na sharp ish re go tsenya lat gag ish ena gona to saka ish e batla man krag ish.
You know, and then I just doubled it with one of the takes that he recorded with the e batla man krag line.
Lat gag ish ena gona to saka ish e batla man krag ish e.
You know, and plus it hits hard because like the beat goes down there.
Lat gag ish ena gona to saka ish e batla man krag ish e batla how fast it don't.
You know, don't you forget it, Jaka don't pass it, you know. And then last but not least, we have Moholo Assets vocals. Yeah, boy. With like I said, with his vocals I didn't do much. You understand? With these vocals, oh yeah, Zico's vocals was at 30 most serious separation. You know, and the reason why I merged them is because I just wanted them to come in the middle, because obviously I can see we stressed them out with the chorus. So I was like, you know what, can you just, you know, come in the middle? So yeah, with Moholo Acid's vocals, merged them like 70%, baba. You know? So yeah, I added a bass compressor just to literally bring it up a bit, and then I added a situation. That's it. That's all I did.
HAWA SPANA SHARP. Niggas are made out. Bantu gole tata. Then my bitch antizer. Uberekile butasha. Kameka mao. Awabele mufao. Like HAWA SPANA SHARP. Uberekile butasha.
So yeah, guys, that's basically it. That's basically how the remix came along. For those who don't know the song, go stream the song. It's HAWA SPANA SHARP, a remix by your boy ECXTACY and your boy OT Finesse. You know, go bump the remix, the original as well, man. This by far, this is literally, I'm not gonna say one of, this is the best remix I've worked on the past. I feel like the past 3 years, man, this is the best remix I've literally worked on. I literally enjoyed the story behind how this song came about, how the song is doing, and all of that, man. I'm really loving how people are gravitating towards the song. Shout out to Tay for this one, man, because this is really an amazing song, you know. But yeah, family, it's been good. It's been lovely from me to you. Love, peace, happiness, and money.